talking Brewskis. Marissa Smith is who you see. Water cooler combo in here. Crack a cold one, we're on the air. Big talking Brewskis. Marissa Smith is who you see. Water cooler combo in here. Crack a cold one, we're on the air. Kicking back, having a few beers, we're chatting. Pull up your chair, we're all relaxing. Any subject, we never dismiss. Big talking Brewskis with Marissa Smith. Comedy, sex, relationships, more. Any subject, we got it in store. Big talking Brewskis is coming in live. Crack one open, Marissa has arrived.
Welcome back, guys. Marissa, it's actually, welcome back, guys, listeners. This is Gordon McNiff with Big Talkin' Brewskis. I'll be subbing for Marissa. Most sincere regards go out to her. She is sick tonight, guys. Listeners, we are sending our positive vibes over to her, hoping she feels better. She's got the flu. But we have Chris Keys here, my good friend.
You do.
Yeah. How you doing, Chris?
I'm absolutely chilling. What's going on with you, man?
Not much, man. Just, it's a pretty good week. Anything go on over the weekend you want to, that's been, how was the weekend?
Yeah, well, look, man, we do the comedy thing, and I
Yeah.
had a couple of things going on over there at, I had a show at the Grizzly Pear, and, I had a couple of spots that I was just kind of moving some new jokes around at,
Yeah.
and that's basically it, man. I'm not going to pass myself off as a super duper interesting guy. Mama raised me humble and all of that stuff, man. But I've got things coming up this week, and yeah.
You are an interesting guy,
I
Chris.
don't know,
Come on.
What did you hear?
Humble.
What did you read? What did you read?
I just know
what
you,
did
man.
you Google? What did you Google that
What did
I'm
she
this
say?
interesting guy?
What did she say? She told me she was 18.
Oh, you see, there you go, man.
What? How are the ladies treating you out there, man? You're
You
fucking
just dove
Jesus,
right
man.
into it, man.
Yeah, you look at you, man. You look like
PG
you're
topic.
carved out of a mountain. You built, man. You're
Yeah,
fucking
I'm all
big
right.
guy.
I'm all right looking, man. Look, I played sports for a long
You're
time.
you look
know,
like a handsome dude, man. Give me some action. Tell me, cut me in on what's going on. The Chris Keys love life.
Oh,
All right.
my God. You know what? It's funny. I was having a conversation with a lady, text-wise, and I was just telling her that I was on hiatus because, basically it's something where like many comics that are out there, like, their lives are kind of just like all over the place, and they're just kind of trying to centralize it, make it something. And, and because of that, one of the things is like, hey, man, like there's opportunities out there to take advantage of and all of that, and I will down the line. But right now, I was just kind of like, let me just be on hiatus because the girls that I kind of had met, it'll be something where they kind of get too close, and you can't have like a tight, strong relationship while doing comedy at the same time.
No.
It's not impossible, but it's close to, and it's almost like not realistic to even pursue that,
Yeah, no.
And the thing about it, you explain it to girls, and it's just, they're like, okay, so let it be just a casual thing, and then from a casual thing, it kind of just blows up into something where the desires become more than what my crummy comic ass can offer and shit. So I'm like, something you bitches aren't listening, so let me just kind of take a break. What's the code here? Like, can we cuss, or like, not to say that I'm about to just cuss for a whole
let
hour,
it rip,
but
man. No. We've uncovered some seriously fucked up topics in the past. So,
okay, cool.
I mean,
cool.
you
Let's
can
make sure
we're pretty flexible here. I don't know, just no the obvious, no white supremacy stuff.
Yeah, because that's gonna come from me, right? Anyway, like the shorter answer to that question is like, I had to put a hold on the fun that can be had because it's just like, okay, well, let me just get my money situation together, and then once it's that, then I'll jump back into it, but carefully. That's what it's like.
Yeah.
That's what it's like when you're 42. Like when you're under 30, it's just like, okay, just. You say, just fuck if you're single or whatever, just fuck whatever you can, and if you're doing so indiscriminately, and you're not worried about the consequences. Like you get
exactly.
To, what I'm saying? You get to my age, and this is kind of like something, man. This is gonna be more noise than I want. So you end up passing up. Just be like, I'm good. I'm good.
I'm good here. I've had enough. All right. I don't know, but I mean, I've heard some good stories from you, man. You had some pretty crazy incidents. We both have, and I feel like we might discuss them tonight.
Oh,
I'm gonna.
man, yeah. Well, yeah. If you want, like, we were talking about it off air, and no, and this is what I mean. Like, okay, when you're, cause me, like, I'm not gonna go as far as to call myself a deviant because what's considered a deviant is a very subjective thing from person to person. All right, but that said,
sounds like you're it sounds like you're a deviant.
No,
you
know
kidding.
what?
I'm kidding. You're
no,
not.
No, you can call me a deviant if
Deviant.
If I'll run down my log of experiences, and then you could draw your own conclusion. But no, it's something more like, okay, I'll own the fact that like I definitely have like an appetite. So when you have an appetite, like you do kind of end up mixing it up indiscriminately, and that's like what you were talking about. Like, all right, I'm at some club, and I'm probably, I don't know, like maybe 29, 30,
Yeah.
and at that point, I'm still like,
I'm 29.
okay, right.
Right there.
So it's just sort of the thing where it's just like, you'll jump at any opportunity, So
Fuck yeah.
So I'm at some bar and clubbing on the weekends as I do or did and whatever. And
Nice.
And then what happens? So I'm dancing with some girl, right? Some bar club in Midtown, and everything's kind of going smooth or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. There's a mature crowd, right? So the chick, probably in her 30s, kind of cute, whatever. Dancing leads to making out. And I'm just like, okay, cool. So before too long, we end up switching numbers. And, a couple days later, I hit her up. And then, just, small talk as you do before, you make the formality of meeting up. And I'm like, yeah, so what's your story? Like I said, like we're relatively grown. So I was like, all right, so you got kids? What's your story? And she was just like, well, I've got 5. And 5 kids. And when you hear a number like 5, it's like usually women like those are just they're settled in. They have their family, and that's just what they're doing. Their husband and all that.
How long ago?
Oh my God, this was a while ago, man. This is
29. You said my age.
Yeah, so like
then how long were you guys talking though? Between
in the 2000s, it was like early mid 2000s. I could be off by a couple of years as far as my age, but it was definitely
but I'm saying before you asked her how many kids she had, was that like the second day? Was that same night?
It wasn't even second date. It was just okay. We the first conversation, it came
got
up
the number,
and and usually if you're like for some guys that's a deal breaker. It's just like, I'm not trying to deal with a chick with that kind of baggage, but we're talking about me, who's just kind of like indiscriminate. I'm like, I'm not playing for keeps, so it's just sort of like, oh, you got 5 kids, great. Well, okay, so
how close you live?
When do you want to act right and all of that for real? So okay, so we meet up. So we meet up and we go to some spot in the Lower East Side, and on the way over there, like she's from like the Bronx or something. Now, what happens is like we start walking. I meet her at some corner. We walk over to the bar that we were going to, and she pulls like a mini like out of her purse.
A mini.
Or in other words, like a nip. Like she pulled out like a nip of like Henny or something like that. Like the airplane
She's
bottles.
Hitting
right?
and
I'm a drinking man, so I'm just like, yo, like this is my kind of lady.
Tight.
Like,
Nice, right? Holy shit,
she's
I'm
like
on board.
Pre-gaming right in front of me, so I'm just all right, cool.
Fucking A,
So
down as fuck.
You know me. So it's just, all right, so then we go into the bar.
How do you think she got all them kids?
I guess are we? But all right, cool. But we go inside and then we just have like some drinks at the bar, and whatever, and make a short story short, we picked up where we left off, and we were just kind of making out and then it gets to the point where she's just like, okay, she's just kind of like just in that mode. So I was like, well, what do you want to do? So I literally get up and I run across the street to a bodega because for whatever reason.
What did you get? I think I know what you got.
No, you're right. So I got some rubbers because
I was gonna say you got them condoms.
Do they still sell like loose condoms at stores?
Well, no.
I don't know if they do that anymore.
They do the packs of 3.
Yeah, right. Well, in other words, buy the condoms as they're supposed to be sold. And damn, that's. we just took a step back, man. Yo, I miss those days.
But
yo,
they used
back
to have loose condoms for sale?
for real. You could buy them like you buy loose cigarettes. It's just like,
Oh,
yo.
dude, I
let
don't
me
know where to
just
buy
get-
those either. Wait, hold on. Where do we get loose? I know.
Yeah, basically in any hood, that was the jump up. You probably could in certain hoods. I don't know, but
That's
man.
That's pretty sick.
Anyway, so yeah, but I get a Lucy and I slide back over to the bar, and then we hit the bathroom, and then the obvious happens.
Oh, shit.
Right, fine. You know what I'm saying? Which is whatever.
Nice,
coffee,
man. The old
coffee regular. Some people
bathroom
call that
break.
Some people call that the Lord's work. So
Yeah.
okay, so
Jesus is smiling down on you.
So,
as you
all right.
check
Here's
out
what.
bathroom.
Okay, now here's where it gets kind of nutty because.
Oh, no pun intended there, but
Well, yeah, so fucking gourds. So what happens is, so she's feeling some kind of way, not upset, but she kind of feels a little like too slutty. She like
violated.
well, that
Wrong.
I don't even like that word
No,
that has like
bad word.
like legal ramifications and shit. But yeah,
Well, no, yeah. Oh,
I'm fucking around. Anyway, so we're walking. So
I
we
keep
we
getting that
we
today.
chatted a little bit more. We walked back to the train that she that she was gonna be taken back up, and we're talking still. And she was just like, "Nah, I feel kind of weird because it jumped off so fast that I'm usually not like that.
Damn.
As we often hear, I'm usually not like that to be messing
Very
around in some
nice, though.
bathroom or whatever." So she was like, "Okay, do I want to go back to her place and just kind of like continue with the night?" And and again, we're talking about me, especially at that stage of my life. Like now I take my time. Back then I'm just down for whatever. Like
Yeah.
I'm just like
as you
seriously
should be.
I'm like that's what I'm put on earth to do. Like that's my calling. So I'm like, yeah, cool, fine. So we go to some projects in the Bronx or whatever, and then we go up into a building. Now that's when all this whole time now I completely forget that this woman has five
kids. I was gonna say.
Right.
Five
So
kids live
boom.
with
So
her?
so
Or
all
what's
so
going
all
on?
of so boom. All too fast. My brain starts to revisit this point, and then she starts to
Does
bring
she
up.
have a husband?
Nah, she didn't, but she did have like all these kids, and so she said, well, listen, we're gonna have to be quiet going in, and all of that. So I was like, all right, cool. I'm like, oh well, obviously, sure. It's like midnight at this point, and we get it, and it's this big ass apartment. But this apartment was just so weird because you had like a living room and you had this big ass hallway with like a bunch of doors. It was like
Oh my gosh.
right,
Kids.
and presumably each door represented like the room that a kid stayed in. It was like you guys you don't remember the video game Golgo 13. Like I don't know, like
I know the doors. I know that classic
it-
scene with
it-
the doors and every kind of
because there's a scene where you're just kind of in this building and it's kind of like a maze, but there was this long hallway with a bunch of doors. And
Yeah.
So presumably each kid was inside of one of those damn doors and rooms or whatever. So and then we get to her room and then we whatever we fool around. It was a good time. Then morning rolled around and she's like, "Yo, I gotta sneak you out here without see if I can sneak you out here without any of my kids seeing you." So I'm just like, swag, I'm with it. Right, so we're kind of tiptoe turns, and we were trying to hold out to make sure that like all her kids just like went to school because I guess they went to school by themselves or whatever.
Yeah.
One of her kids had a half day. He had like the high school aged one, and I'm just like, okay, so. But I guess she didn't know or whatever. So like we're walking out, and he just kind of pops out of nowhere. The kid's like 16, and I'm just like leaving, and she's just like, yeah, this is my friend Chris, and Chris, this is whatever her son's name, and her son looked so disappointed and shit. I'm just like, what am I supposed to do? Like I'm gonna like what's going on, dude? Yeah, I was rocking your mom's last night. Like how do you? So, and it's such a it was such a hilarious story. I saw her like a bunch of years later, like whatever. Because we didn't, because that kind of thing. It's just like a come and go, have fun, and you kind of move on.
Motherfucker.
But that story pales in comparison to yours, though, man. Your shit. My shit is romperoo compared to your shit. Your thing is breathtaking. Mine is a cute story. That's just a cute story. Like, I just walked into her teenage son. It's just like, still smelling like your mom's vagina. Just like, whoops, well,
Yeah. I know. It was scary. It was fucking the scariest moment ever. I was like the most scared I've been. And I think, like 5 years? I don't know. A long fucking time, all right? There's been other times when I've been like, all right, fuck, I'm going to get my ass kicked right now. But I get chills. For those of you guys who don't know, slept with my first older lady, just kind of like similar story to what Chris Keys was saying. And she had 3 sons, but they woke me up, and they were my age. Yeah, they were about mid-20s, not late 20s. They're a little bit younger than me, but they were definitely very upset. Yeah, and yeah, they stole my weed. Oh my god, it was terrible, dude. It was the worst thing ever. They basically forced me out with a knife on me. I was like, holy fuck, I'm gonna get jumped.
Here's the thing that I don't like. I kind of don't get because, like, look, I love my mama more than anything in the world,
dude.
Right?
Yeah,
you know, fine, sure. But if my mom is single, you know, like, and I know she still has needs.
Yeah.
You
but
know,
I mean, if she was like my age, though, you would kind of be pissed. And they told me that she had just gotten back from rehab. Yeah, it was bad.
yeah,
said-
I mean, well, that's her story, though. But like,
And they said there was like alcohol around. There was like, we had drinks out, and there was like weed on the table, and yeah, they were pissed.
well, okay, well, there's that additional stuff too, and that's fine. So she not fine, but okay, so she relapsed. But let's say that you remove those factors from the equation. Let's say we're just talking about, okay, she's an older woman, she's 45, she's single, she's got adult children. I'm focusing on the fact that she's a single woman, so she still has her needs. She's still gonna date or whatever.
Yeah.
It's not, you're not gonna turn into some kind of nun or whatever. She's gonna get out there. It just so happens it's you.
I was the guy.
The
lucky guy.
To me, you're doing the Lord's work, man. And she probably felt addictions or no addictions, man. She probably felt super sexy for having like a younger stud like on her hands or whatever. Hey, look, man,
make me blush over here.
Yo, well, look. I think that when you're dealing with a cougar, you're like automatically a stud. Can we go by that math? Like, you know what I mean? Not to take anything away from what I just said, but
absolutely, dude. I felt like it was awesome. It was great, and I mean. The kid, but they were, dude. Did I tell you about this? How he had the cast on his hand, and he was like, I broke my hand. I was like,
yeah,
how?
But
He's like, I broke and beat the shit out of the last guy.
Well,
Fuck my mom. I was like,
mean,
holy shit.
Yeah, well, look, it's an apple tree kind of thing, though. Like, if the lady's kind of nutty, odds are, like, your sons are gonna, like, you know what I'm saying? There's gonna be some kind of nutty on some level and shit. But yeah, I don't know, man. You would have been better served if I walked in on you. I mean, it still would have been weird.
No shit,
Still would have been weird. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that it's not weird at all.
I would have shit my pants if you walked in on me. Are you fucking kidding me?
But there will be a little bit of way to go, mom, about it. You know, I'm a little. I don't know if you want to call it progressive, but I guess I'm just fair about the shit, man. Like,
you're understanding, man. You're you're not a psycho.
Well,
maybe.
No. I'm just saying, reality. Look, reality is not necessarily a sexy thing. There's twists and turns to it,
Yeah.
and again, you get to a certain age and. Yeah, you're still gonna have your needs if you're not married or if you're not involved. It's to say, oh, guess what, man? 45-year-old women fuck, and if they're not attached to anybody, if they're not a part of something special, then okay, there's gonna be situations that are going to involve me or they're gonna involve you.
I thought you were saying it involve their breasts.
And if
so the hand motion you were giving there.
Well, yeah, apologies, but and I guess sometimes in life, your adult son is gonna walk in on
well,
you.
You be fucking.
Yeah, man, that's no reason to get mad.
She was just sitting there on the couch while these kids were fucking threatening me, and she was sitting there in her bathrobe. It was fucked up, man.
I don't know. I mean, the relapse aspect of it. I don't even know if that part. I don't even know if that part.
Oh, yo, so hold on. Did I tell you this about So last week, dude. He fucking confronted me, and he was at the bar that I met her at. He came there. Luckily I had my friends with him. I was going to be like, look, I should have been like, give me my weed back. I got all my friends with me now. We're going to beat the shit out of you unless you go get my fucking weed back. But I was like, listen, I banged his mom. Kind of feel bad about it. I gave my number. He was like, dude, yeah, you couldn't have known that. He told me about the rehab thing. He's like, I'm not pissed anymore. There's no way you could have known, And I was like, all right, thanks. I kind of appreciated that. And I was like, here's my number, hit me up if you ever have any life.
Why would you need his number?
Well, no, I gave him mine. I was like, let me know if you ever have any questions
but
about
why?
life. If you want to play catch in the backyard, do some fatherly things.
I don't know.
No, but here, hold on. So then she comes in like an hour later, comes into the bar, and his 2 other brothers are with her, and her ex-husband is also with her. And so I'm like, holy shit. The son comes up to me with a broken arm, and he says, yo, man, obviously just don't talk to my mom. We're just here to, like, celebrate. Just don't say anything to her, all right? Just, we're good. We're over here. Like, and I'm like, dude, don't worry about it, man. Yeah, I completely get that. You're fine. I'm not going to do anything. And I didn't tell you this. And we were at the bar, and I was sitting there, and this chick next to me is friends with them, I guess. And someone comes up and they're like, oh, we're getting shots for, 8 shots of Jameson. And they gave the chick next to me one, and they were like, yeah, here, get one for her too. And she's like, sure. And, while they're pouring it, the chick was like, actually, no, just give it to Gordy. And I was like, all right, yeah, give it to me. And I, like, turned around in my seat to take the shot with this unknown group. And lo and behold, it was the mom with her 3 sons, her ex-husband, and a few friends. And I was like, oh my God, this is super awkward. And the son took a shot, and he spit a little bit of the shot up. And I was like, yeah, you don't take after your mother.
Oh, God. Why? That's got to be. Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, I've been alive for a while now, man. Like, I've never really seen the point in. I've never had a drink with my family. Like, I've never gone into a bar with my pops. No. Like,
really?
Well, first of all, I didn't get along with my pops anyway. But even if I did, that just seems like something that I either do alone or with my homies. So, I would never think to connect, like, from a generational standpoint, because connect with my pops or my mom on that level. I can't imagine even being comfortable drinking. Meanwhile, it's kind of a ritual
with
like,
these guys, but then the mom's out there fucking too. So
I don't want to go as far as to call it a white thing, man. But that's just something I didn't really see that a lot in the hood, man. I mean, it's probably more prevalent, and maybe I'm just not a family person. But man, like you talk about,
dude,
okay,
yeah, no. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't. That's not usual, but that the families go out together and like get drunk,
and drink. It's just like chill.
And then the mom goes and fucks some young guy.
I guess, man.
But yo, speaking of family, and fucking young guy.
Jesus.
Sorry, yeah, this really took a turn.
Yeah,
no, good turn. No. I feel I need to get this on my chest. What are you doing for the holidays, man? Thanksgiving? What you got going on?
I'm such a. I don't want to go as far as to call myself a Grinch, but like I'm something.
It's coming off as a Grinch, right?
Already, right? Just by prefacing it that way, just like I'm fucking
hate Christmas.
Well, I don't hate it, but I for sure don't give a shit about it. I don't do holidays, like
Thanksgiving though, man. No turkey.
I did like as ritual. You're part. Then you love your mom and you do it like as far as you do it when you're growing up, man. But like as I got older, I became more detached from like both emotionally and detached from what people just kind of like do ritualistically or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just like it's kind of boring. And you know what? Comedy, I think, has something to do with it, too, because I have such a passion for it and being around the likes of you and all of the comics that we know, that some of the everyday things like Thanksgiving or Christmas, I already found it mundane. Now it's even more just like, oh, God. I just learned about Friendsgiving. I didn't even know that was
right?
a thing. I didn't there was a comic over at the Pair where, we perform and all of that. And yeah, she was leaving. I was like, hey, you're going up somewhere else? And she was just like, I'm going to a Friendsgiving. And she was so disgusted about the fact that she was going to a Friendsgiving. But I guess she's obligated because those are her friends or her homies or whatever. Like, Friendsgiving? Like, really, dude? Like, what the fuck?
Friendsgiving? I feel like, I've heard of it, but I don't know, dude. I'm not.
Yeah, like, it was one of those things where I could have asked like exactly what goes on at Friendsgiving, but I probably I have a pretty roundabout idea as to what probably does. Like,
oh yeah, you can. It's just. Sometimes I like it when it's at a friend's apartment. Sometimes people have tried to do Friendsgivings at like restaurants and shit, and I'm like, it just costs us a bunch of money, and it's much better when it's like no, everybody kind of brings their own stuff. You get a little taste, so and so's cooking. We all made this shit.
Oh, so that I didn't know.
Sometimes it's all right, but yeah, a lot of times it's just not. It's not. It's stupid. We smoke a lot of weed though. That's one good thing.
Oh shit, you can smoke weed anywhere, man.
Well, yeah, at the dinner table, I love like passing the blunt around at like the Thanksgiving table when I was out at school and I couldn't fly back to fucking just for Thanksgiving, you know, and when I was like in California, so I was like couldn't really fly across just to have dinner. But my relatives out there, they would smoke a lot of weed before and during the Thanksgiving dinner. It was pretty cool.
No,
Speaking of relatives, partying with relatives, right? Yeah.
Well, you know, that's part. I mean, we're talking about the holidays. Look, I'm not a conventional guy, but I can respect people following, you know, a certain like family routine thing that you do during the holidays. I can totally respect that. I'm just, again, I'm too detached an individual to really enjoy it. But my mom is still going strong and still alive, and you know, she's old school, so she still appreciates Thanksgiving.
Hell
So I'm gonna chill with her, and you know,
Of course, dude.
but I know as far as like the big gathering bullshit, nah, it's just gonna be me and my mom's gonna just kind of kick it a little bit. And admittedly, I'll probably just kind of slide out, just you know, then check out whatever comedy the city has to offer. Like you know, that's me, you know. So what are you doing?
Oh, dude.
You're more
man,
of a nah. I know.
Turn it around.
Yeah, I got to. I mean, you're the host, but you know, I mean, at the same time, I mean, like, I have to reverse it. I have to because like, with me. Like, look, it can't be an hour of me talking about I don't give a shit about anything. You know what I mean? And I'm going to assume that you're more family-oriented than me because that's not a high hurdle to hop. So.
I get sucked into these fucking things, man. It's well, I mean, obviously Thanksgiving is fun. Thanksgiving is fun, but I mean, I don't know. I said it earlier. Like, sometimes things can get out of hand. You know, some of my Boston family members used to come down from to you know have Thanksgiving with us, and they would just get, you know, sometimes, you know, a little crazy. There's my aunt. One of my aunts was found in my little sister's closet, naked, brushing her hair. So that was kind of a setback.
What?
Yeah.
How?
Well,
why?
She was drunk, and I don't know. People like fall down and like cry and stuff like that, and it was just always a bad. You know, I basically set myself up in the room down the stairs, in the den down the stairs, or down the hall. And watch Forensic Files. You know, I'm like, don't come in or don't anybody bother me. You know, watching Forensic Files for the past 4 hours. I know how to commit the perfect murder. Right? I will fucking kill you. Right, yeah,
family roundups. Like, it's such a weird thing. Like I'm like kind of like far removed from the tree and all of that. But when you take an outside look at it, it's just sort of the thing where, okay, you live your daily life. You do whatever you do for a living when you're not doing comedy. Hopefully at some point comedy will be your living or something in entertainment. But for now, we do what we do, and then we do our daily routine or whatever, right? Now, your cousin got his routine or her routine. Same thing with your siblings, da-da-da-da-da-da. And then that's what makes the holiday thing weird. So you spend the better part of the entire year, you guys just don't fuck with each other. You guys don't like really interact or whatever. And all of a sudden, you're just suddenly together.
I know.
And it's just weird because like
weird to think about,
yeah, because like you're trying to catch up on like 300 days worth of shit. You know what I mean? And
exactly.
It's just like there's nothing. I mean, even though it's family, it's not necessarily natural or organic, the interaction that takes place. And like I'm just, you know, it makes me glad that I'm detached because I mean, I look at other people, and the cool thing about it is no one's looking forward to it. That's the best thing. No, like, do you look?
We all dread it. No way, dude.
Okay, no one looks forward to it. You know, just.
Did you hear about these new things? The cover families are charging cover charges
For what?
for Thanksgiving, man.
What?
Yes.
What are you talking about?
You haven't. This was a big thing last year, and it's a big thing again this year. Families are charging the other family members money to come to their family Thanksgiving event. There's a cover charge, usually like $20, anywhere from $20 to $80 in some cases.
So if you can't foot the 20, you're not allowed in.
Sometimes,
as
yeah,
10? Like,
yeah. And you know what? A lot of some of them are like the Friendsgivings, but
You're
a lot
making
of
this-
the
shut up. You're making
family.
this up.
No,
This is not-
dude. No way, man. There was one. I have a close friend, and they have like a big family, and they were asking everybody to really chip in. Fucking weird. And in the family, it's like, they're not like. I mean, I don't know. You'd think that they could. I mean, it wouldn't be. I think it's just nowadays everybody's doing that.
First
type
of
shit.
all, well, let's start here. I mean, and I know I'm personalizing it here, and I'm openly admitting it. You'd have to pay me to be a part of
That's
some
what
of
I'm
these fucking
saying.
functions.
Thank you so much.
Barely want to be there in the first
I
place.
know, right?
Oh my
I gotta
God.
fit the fucking bill
I
for
wish,
40
I wish somebody
fucking
would
people.
ask me if I wanted to
Dude,
go.
yeah,
Like,
they're making money off that shit at that point. I'm like, Jesus. Hey, Grandma, is this a fucking new coat or some shit? Jeez, you just buy this with the Thanksgiving
Hey,
money we gave you?
I'll admit I'm not as family minded as most people and shit, and I can respect the fact that okay, if you really are that passionate about Thanksgiving, where I guess I'm assuming they maybe rent out a hall or
Dude,
a
they better
venue.
have a fucking ice sculpture, a turkey ice sculpture, a fucking water slide man.
Is that's your difference maker? Because I could give a fuck about an ice sculpture, man. Like I still barely want to go. Let me
Dude,
tell you something about me. Look, I had. Like my mom, and my pops when he was still alive, like they and my sisters, they were just like, oh, okay, they're gonna do Thanksgiving different. They're gonna do Thanksgiving different. They're gonna go to like my cousin's Thanksgiving gathering in Jersey, and I don't hate them. But I don't, there's too much talking.
Jersey.
There's too much talking and backbiting and shit like that, man.
We love Jersey, by the way.
And this week, I have no beef with Jersey. But
I'm from Jersey. I'm not from Jersey.
Are you or are you not?
No, I was just kind of saying that as a backup, saying Jersey. I was
No,
trying to back up the show.
But
We might have a lot of Jersey
but they
listeners.
out there in Jersey, and I was just like, you know something? I don't like hear all the family gossip bullshit.
Yeah.
So I was just like, you know something? I'm just not gonna go.
Good call.
I'm not gonna go.
I would have done the same
But,
shit. I
yo,
do that
you-
all the time. and
Yo,
never
but
go
I
to
was
family shit.
17 though. Look, and
Oh,
there
that's-
wasn't really a lot of we didn't have a lot of money coming up. Like so it was something where she just threw me like I don't know like $6 or $7. I went to Flushing because I'm in Queens. I went to Flushing Meadow Park and there was like a turkey bowl going over there. So we played some football and I came back and I got some rib tips. I got some fried rice and rib tips, and that was my Thanksgiving dinner.
Fuck yeah,
Yo,
brother!
yo,
and I
you
bet it was delicious. It
Yo,
tasted
and-
like
and-
freedom, and
Well, it certainly wasn't turkey and ham.
Independence.
It wasn't turkey and ham, but you know what though? Like I'll take those
Whatever.
rib tips before
hell yeah!
I went
dude.
all
I
the way to
love
Jersey to
rib
hear some
tips.
nonsense, yo.
Who doesn't love rib tips? And you had a good time. Probably had a fucking better time.
By my damn self. So like,
Oh my god!
so when I think about like charging me $20 or what?
fucked up, right? Dude, there better be like 8 rotisserie fucking turkeys on like a bonfire. It better be fucking elaborate.
Yeah, but my shit, you could come up with that shit on your own though. You can come up with your own turkey, like if you love turkey that much, you know what I mean?
there better be a fucking deep fried version, a baked version, a fucking slow roasted version.
Yeah.
Tons of different. I want
and
turkey,
and
man.
on
If I'm paying that kind of coin for fucking Thanksgiving to spend this shit with people, the fucking relatives.
Sweet. We got away from it. So where you going then?
So my parents are doing Thanksgiving. We'll have my uncle of my dad's brother over. He's got his wife and 3 kids, who are really cool. We got my mom's side of the family's coming over. My grandma, her sisters, her sister, her husband, her daughter, and her boyfriend. God damn it! This chick brings over. You ever get this? This shit happens to me all the time. The new. She brings over a new boyfriend every fucking Christmas. It's always a new boyfriend.
Well, it makes sense, man. Look, we're guys, and we're shitty individuals. So
No, but this chick, it's my younger cousin. She brings the guys to like do Christmas dinner and like Thanksgiving with us every year. I'm like, I don't do
your
that.
sister or your cousin?
My cousin.
How old your cousin?
My age. And it's always some new fucking guy that we
makes all
don't
the-
know,
yo,
and he's sitting
yeah.
at the fucking table.
I thought I was a moment away from retracting what I said, but yeah, that makes all the sense in the world, man. Yo,
I guess it's kind of cool sometimes.
Like, look, man.
I'm like, yo, you got any weed, bro? you holding? Give me some weed right now.
I mean, gods, man. Like,
He's a little bit younger. They're a little bit younger than us.
like I got, one of the things I like to embrace, like at this age, not to say that I'm just this old wise fuck, because God knows I'm not. But
you are. You're a very wise man.
No, I don't know if I'm wise, but I mean, I've picked up. Thank you, sir. I picked up on things, and you just kind of realize that at some point you just got to accept the fact that human beings are just not good at being human beings. and if we suck at being human beings, then guess what? Like it's highly probable that this holiday season, your cousin is gonna introduce you to a new face, and will do say the same thing again next holiday season.
Oh, yeah.
Why? Because most of us aren't keepers. If you're talking about it from a dating standpoint, man.
Yeah.
No one, and you know what? I call that stuff like the dirty truth. Like nobody like really talks about it. It's just like, you know what I mean? You got some people that are kind of fine to be around for, you know, a little while, a day or a night or a podcast, let's say. You know what I'm saying? Like or whatever. That's not even a shot at you because I love you to pieces. But
Shots fired.
you know, no, but you get me though.
Yeah, of course.
It's a small number of people that you really internally feel like you can fuck with them like on a regular basis. You can be around them on a regular basis. Like most people, you kind of rather them come and go. Like you, like after a little bit of time, that you can't wait for them to just get the fuck away from you. Like once a purpose was served.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the reality. So I guess your cousin has found out about dudes that she had been dating, and yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's but dude, sometimes they're cool, but I wish, you know, the cool ones would say, you know, because they liven it up. I like having a new face, but it's weird sometimes. You know, I'm like, yeah, no. Sometimes they can be weird, but a few times, you know, it's always nice to have some new person there and you can kind of talk to. But yeah, I have a nice time.
I'll tell you something about your cousin's boy toys or boyfriends or whatever you want to call them. I don't know how many of them you've met,
Yeah,
but they're all
6.
cool. Gee, wow. Okay. Okay.
Told you like every fucking year, dude.
Bet. Okay. So all six are cooler than me. You want to know why? Because I'm not close enough with any woman that I would even want to go to these gatherings.
Oh yeah, I don't, dude.
Like,
I don't know how she tricks these guys are going.
Just like you could, I'll drink bleach.
Well, you know what? I know how she does.
Bleach before I go see your family, meet your I'm not the person you introduced to a goddamn soul.
Fuck no! It took me like, oh no, dude. This chick, my cousin, dude. This is how she does it. I mean, I'm not gonna say my cousin she's pretty, but she dated Josh Hartnett. So, like, I mean, I was waiting for him to come to fucking Christmas or Thanksgiving. I was like, yo, bring fucking Josh.
Cool
what the fuck? I know. Dude, you know how I found out? I was watching Lucky Number 11 one time. Great movie. On Christmas Day, I was watching Lucky Number 11, and she came in, watched TV with me. It was like an hour into the fucking movie, and she was like, did I ever tell you how I dated Josh Hartnett? I was like, what the fuck? She was like, yeah, I dated him for like 4 months. I was like, what? Like, how do you invite me out to dinner, double date? Let's do this shit. But yeah, no.
It's funny that we both have a connection. Well, now I'm a quasi connection to Josh Hartnett and that movie Lucky Number 11 because
I love Lucky Number 11.
What's cool?
Great movie.
That's a really cool movie,
Such
man.
a good movie, dude.
Yo, all right, so here's the thing with that movie. That movie must have came out in like, I'm going to say, what, like 05, 06? Give or take a year. All right, cool. So at the time, I was still bouncing at bars. Like, I'm that kind of guy.
You look like you could definitely be a bouncer.
I've done my share of doors and bouncing and babysitting drunk
people. I would not want to fuck with you.
No, stop it, because you're gonna have these people thinking that I'm just like this 6'5", like 250-pound ogre of a man.
They can see you, dude. You're a big guy.
I work out. I look all right in that t-shirt, man. But I'm not.
Fucking.
For those who are listening to this, I'm about the size of a NFL defensive back. So then I've got some
jacked one.
I'm all right out there. So
big one.
All right enough to do to handle doors, check IDs, and just work at venues.
Fucking bundle you, body bag you if you need be.
Shut up. The point I was making. All right, so one of the accounts the security crew I worked with had was this bistro called Baltazar, right? And at the time, and I hated doing that door just sucked because all you got when you're dealing with a bistro, you're dealing with just kind of like like these foofy kind of like then they think they're more important than they really are, and they're kind of and they're definitely looking down at me because I'm checking their fucking IDs, and so they're looking at me like loser, and it's fucking cold, and the only thing that's making everything okay is the little freaking vodka that I kind of like had in like a like in a flask in like in my inner fucking jacket pocket. I have no problem talking about the shit now.
Dude, like your chick, man.
Yo, so,
That's how she won you over with the fucking nips.
I'm easy, but yo. So here's what happened. Okay, the connection with that movie, Lucky Number 11. So they had just finished shooting it, like not too saying far from that time. Like now, this limo cab thingy comes up, and sure enough, Bruce Willis comes out with his daughter and Josh Hartnett.
Bruce Willis has a hot daughter. Isn't she an actor? Sorry.
I don't. You know what? I'm not up on.
Sorry.
I'm not up on.
I keep derailing your story.
No, it's cool. It's cool. It's not that powerful of a story, but it was funny because they're all coming up and they're gonna eat at, I guess, at Balthazar or whatever, right? So Bruce comes up and he's just kind of like, he's like, good morning. Now, mind you, it's like about 7 o'clock in the evening. It's like, I was like, oh.
No fucking way.
So I'm a dick. So I'm just like, oh, well, let's pretend it's evening. And it kind of cracked his head a little bit. So he kind of looked at me, and then we both kind of had a quick...
let's pretend it's evening?
Well, yeah, because he said good morning or something.
Yeah, let's pretend it's morning. I'm sorry, yeah.
Whatever. So I'm just like, all right. So
dude, Bruce Willis?
What the fuck?
Anyways, I respect that, dude.
You mentioned the wrong time of day. Does it really matter who the fuck you are? That shit that sounded weird. Like, look, I'm going to embrace weird no matter what who it is. Like, I'm going to say good morning back when the sun's not even in the sky. Like, stop that. No, like, there's no exemptions in my fucking like mental world and way of thinking. You just. So we laughed about it. They went inside, man. And it's just the way people are when they're starstruck and shit like that. I don't know. It's just. Because there's nobody on this earth that will blow my mind away. Like, oh my God, that's Michael Jordan. Oh my God, that's Bruce Willis. I mean, I like Die Hard. It was a cool movie and shit. Yeah. So Lucky Number 11, but I'm not gonna spray my. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna bust all over myself if I see you in person. You know what I mean? No. Meanwhile, you had these two. Like after they went in, Hartnett and Bruce Willis and daughter. What the hell's her name? I don't know. Like whatever.
Sexy
lady. I want to say Rain, but I'm pretty sure I'm wrong because I'm not up on
Rain.
things.
That's hot.
You see, but that might not be her name. So why are you so moved? I
hope it's Rain.
But this is what I mean about celebrities, though, because these two college-aged girls, they come up, right, and they're just like, oh my God, is that Bruce Willis? And I'm just kind of looking at them like, and I'm like, yeah, that was Bruce Willis, right? Now they look like they just finished. They was in regular street clothes or whatever, right? Yo, I shit you not, gods. They went away and they came back in like maybe it couldn't have been more than 7 fucking minutes. And they were dressed to the nines, makeup the whole nine, and they couldn't get their IDs out fast enough. And I'm like, you two ain't shit bitches. It's just like, what are you gonna? Oh
my God.
I was like, it was such
ain't shit bitches.
I was just like, what the fuck, man? I was like, oh God. I was so disgusted. I wanted to cut up their IDs and shit.
Terrible.
No, but you know what though? I mean, look,
but hey, I'd fuck Bruce Willis.
Oh well, hey, good for you, man.
I don't know.
I'll watch. I guess I don't know because we're cool, but
Is that a credit? Can I say he fucked Bruce Willis? Give it up for your next comic
coming
up on the stage.
If I'm hosting, I guess I could do that for you, man. I'm a good friend, make things weird a little bit. Well, why not? Oh man, but
dude,
Balthazar. Oh God, Fred Beast.
How we've known each other. I feel like I met you all right. So I met you when I was doing McSwiggins. I first started doing McSwiggins, and then Joe told me that he did a mic at Autos on Wednesdays, and he was like, "Come to that mic. I run it. You would like it." You were there the first time.
Yeah.
I met you I don't know, 3 months into me when I started doing stand-up, dude.
I thought you were already in it. I mean, I know,
Bear, like, you had seen me. I had only done shit at McSwiggins.
I figured you were about a year in or two at the time.
I think I might have been
brand spanking new?
Well, like 3 months. I did only the Thursdays or maybe like 4 or 5 minutes. Because, he told me to come over and do the, I don't know. I used to go there and show up to the Grizzly Pear. I worked at this telesales job, and we'd have dress code and everything.
Yeah.
And So I'd show up after work. I'd show up, just go straight from work with like a button down and brown shoes,
I remember.
and khakis.
I remember.
Yeah, and I was a fucking asshole. Everyone's like, "Who's, fucking
like who's this fuck?"
Yeah, and I had to come over there. I would say, I don't know. I really, I respect you guys for being nice to me. And like,
why wouldn't we
it's
be
tough.
nice to you?
Well, I mean, it's just tough, kind of like finding your footing. I was so bad, like my first, couple years. So it's pretty rocky. But I mean, it's like, I don't know. You've kind of figure out how was that for you? Like getting into it, was there? Because like I was just talking to Juanel, and he was like, first show I met him at, he destroyed. I'm like, dude, what open mics do you do? He's like, I don't do it. I don't do it. I never do open mics. Like I just started. I'm like, motherfucker. Like, like some people, just like are step on and.
Well, everybody's road. I think that's the cool thing about comedy because everybody's road is kind of different. I mean, obviously we all have to kind of interact and network. And blah blah blah, and deal with the
ass.
well, so to speak. Well, I don't know if you have to kiss. I mean, I don't know how to kiss ass. So I mean, if that makes my journey a little longer, like as far as growing with the industry, then so be it. I don't know how to do that, and I don't feel I have.
You don't kiss any asses?
No. Well, I think I do a good enough job on stage.
Yeah,
I do a good enough job on stage that okay, well, if I gotta
speaks for itself.
Well, sure, exactly. All right, so, but everybody's road is a little different. So when you talk about the fact that okay, you were doing telemarketing and then you would stumble into the mics, shirt tucked in or whatever it is, and you had on the khakis, and it's then you're looking or feeling the dweeb for wearing it, and but that's fine though. But that's part of your character. Sometimes you could even talk about that, and I mean, it's different for everybody. Like with me, I didn't really, I jumped into it. A little later on in life, and like for a long time, I played ball. I played football at a semi-pro minor league level.
I did not fucking know that. Are you serious?
Yeah, and it was something where when I was done playing.
So when you said you're the weight, you look like.
Well, it's the literal truth.
Yeah,
so, and I just continued to work out because I'm a dumb jock, and that's all I freaking know.
Fuck up.
Yeah, but I don't even mean it like in a self-deprecating way, man. It's like I enjoy who I am, and I've got some awareness to me.
A lot of comics, do you feel this? I hate to keep veering, but a lot of comics, dude. Do you think that, like, working out and kind of like building on yourself has a, kind of speaks to comedy? Because I mean, I know a lot of, like Joe Rogan, Dave Chappelle, a lot of these guys. I mean, Sebastian Maniscalco, they get ripped, and like you see them, they're definitely working out, and they're definitely like,
I don't know how much
gym a lot, and it might. Is that a time for you to reflect on your bits,
I don't know if there's a connectivity. I mean, if there is, I mean, I think it depends on the person, but I think that if there is one area where okay, there's a parallel between working out and comedy is that okay, there's a discipline to appreciate. Like in order to look a certain way or satisfy a certain goal from a fitness or physical standpoint, you have to get the reps in. You have to get the reps in, and you have to be consistent. And it's
put the work in, dude.
Yeah, and it's the same thing with comedy because there's so many nuances. I mean, there's the little things about interacting and rubbing elbows and just kind of getting yourself familiar with other people in the game. But then there's also the matter of continuing to go up and just kind of like getting the timing down as far as your delivery, the audience, the combination of both and all of that. Because you can have like a great premise, but if you're just kicking words around, it's not going to land the way you want it to land. And you just do, and it's repetition that really gets you to do that.
Absolutely.
And then once you tied it into your natural, because you have such a natural personality, it was just kind of like a hey guys kind of thing, and with me, like I think with me, it gets kind of conversational because like everything that I talk about is something where I prefer to believe everybody can relate to it on given levels. Yeah. So let's just air this shit out. Let's air out the fact that, okay, well, I had this experience, or let's talk about. I mean, I'm not gonna sell a joke, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, of course. I mean, you talk about your. I mean, I want to hear. Do you ever talk about the story with the 5 kids in the beginning?
No, because it's too long. It's too long.
That's what I'm saying.
It's too long. I can concentrate and then kind of sell it out, but I'm not. I don't want to. I don't want to keep the kids on the porch for that long, if that makes sense. Like
I know.
Like when you like the other experience with the lady that wasn't a lady without getting in.
Oh my God! Hold on, can we touch on that real quick? That shit is so.
No, we don't have enough time though.
We don't. It'll take a whole nother fucking time.
Yeah, man. You see.
But you guys, the listeners, kind of get the gist. I loved how you said you were rolling on, and then you booked it. Right?
Well, the lady wasn't a lady, man. It's just like.
We've all been there.
but then no, we have not. We have not. It's like, oh, you want to believe?
He's like, no, we haven't been there.
No, I'm like, nah, man, that's just.
Hey,
you,
I've
buddy.
been there, man. I can level with you there on that one. Okay, I will definitely say I've been there.
Yo, I just
fucked up.
I just appreciate the fact that like I spend the better part of my life getting my.
What the fuck was that? You're like,
no. Oh, yeah, a little congested. I should have pulled my face away from the mic when I did that.
I was like, what? Have you been doing cocaine for the most part?
No.
You're like, I'm joking, Chris. I know you're not.
If ever
I'm kidding, buddy.
No, but yeah, it's something. It's something where like, when you've been Rochambeau'd by life, like say from like a very like early age. Imagine not, and this is not even me playing violins because all things are survivable, and that's the way I look at shit. But at the same time, to roll through the years, right? And then by the time you're 19, that happens to you. It's just like, yeah, that's about right. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, hold on. Wait. Are we talking about the rolling the panties with the balls?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah, what was
what were panties like? I mean, like how long? That was only what? Wasn't that long ago? What year was this?
Oh, it was a long time
Don't
ago.
fuck.
Yeah, it was back in the 90s, man.
What were panties like back then? Were they nice? Now we have like the cut ones.
What
Have you
kind
seen
of
the heart-shaped
What
tiny
kind of question
panties?
you're asking me? What kind?
Because that's what I'm thinking about.
Was the 90s that long ago?
Especially
now?
with a pair of balls in them. Do they have? Because I mean, you can't have the thong, like the little like string, because the balls would go right past.
I can't remember how the balls were situated, but I do know that they just flopped the fuck out. So I was just like, yo, man, those are balls. Like, they're balls.
Code red.
Just like, code balls.
Code balls. Code.
That's
skin
a
color.
code. It's a code all its own. It's just like no, we ain't giving this a color. Those are balls. They call it code balls.
Defcon 5.
Oh my stars! Those are balls.
But you hit the bricks, right? You fucking got out of there super quick.
Yeah, in my drawers, man. Just holding my damn
You were
clothes. Just like, yo.
That's the greatest story ever.
Oh man, yours would yours be like an unofficial stepdad. Like that shit is just. I'm so glad I heard that damn story.
I'm so glad you came on to this podcast, man. This has been so much fucking fun.
Man,
God, I'm so glad.
Anytime you got room for me up in this son of a bitch, I'm just
dude. I mean, Marissa usually she runs this. As you guys know, we quick shout out back again to Marissa. Hope she's feeling better after listening to this as well. But anyways. Chris, where can we see you? Give us a little information on social media. Where can we find you?
Well, you know what, man? I'm on Instagram as The Keys Chronicles.
Oh, I know. I love
all
it.
things go on with me. And that's
I love
Keys.
it.
That's Keys, Keise, because I know it sounds like regular Keys, like Keys, but it's spelled weird. I don't know why. I'm too lazy to check out Ancestry.com about it. Keise Chronicles. I'm not going to help you spell Chronicles. Okay, so The Keys Chronicles. And I'm on Twitter as Keesiology, man. So that's how that works for me. And I'm going to be, you can see me at the Grizzly Pear this Friday evening. That's coming up. Good Man Runs That, Gabe Dorado, and that's going to be flowing. And then, down the line, I'll be up more. You can find me at Broadway Comedy Club and throughout the city, man. It's it.
Hell yeah, guys. Follow Keys at Chris Keys at the Keys Chronicles, guys. Hey, I see a lot of funny shit. He's got some fucking banging stuff on there. It's hilarious. I love it.
Oh, hush.
Oh, you motherfucker. With big thanks, Chris, for coming out, dude. Really appreciate it.
Thanks goes to you, man.
This was awesome, guys. Thanks everybody for listening. I hope everybody has a great week ahead of them. This is Big Talking Brewskis, guys. We're signing off. Thanks for checking out.
All right, Joe. Peace.
See you guys.